Deep in the heart of the world, untouched and untamed, lay a jungle. This jungle, vast and mysterious, was a realm where nature reigned supreme, a place where the modern world had yet to leave its mark. The air hummed with life, a symphony of buzzing insects and chirping birds. Every sound was a note in the grand orchestra of the wild, creating a melody that was both ancient and ever-changing. Towering trees, ancient and wise, formed a canopy overhead, filtering the sunlight into emerald rays. These trees had stood for centuries, silent witnesses to the passage of time, their leaves whispering secrets to those who would listen. The jungle called, beckoning adventurers with the promise of excitement and the unknown. It was a siren song, irresistible to those with a thirst for discovery and a hunger for the untamed. Two friends, Alex and Jamie, heard the jungle's call. They had always been drawn to the wild, their imaginations fueled by stories of explorers and adventurers who had come before them. They were young and eager, their hearts thrumming with the spirit of adventure. The jungle was a canvas, and they were ready to paint their own story upon it, each step a brushstroke in their grand adventure. They had dreamed of this moment, of testing their courage and exploring the wild. Nights spent under the stars, days filled with the thrill of discovery and the promise of the unknown had fueled their dreams. With backpacks packed and spirits high, they entered the jungle, ready to face whatever challenges awaited. The path ahead was uncertain, but their resolve was strong. They knew that the jungle would test them, but they were ready to meet its challenges head-on, driven by the call of the wild. Alex, with his quick wit and sharp eyes, was always on the lookout for clues and solutions. He had a knack for noticing the smallest details, whether it was a broken twig or an unusual footprint. His ability to piece together these tiny hints often led the team to new discoveries and hidden paths. He moved with a quiet grace, observing the jungle's secrets with a keen mind. Every rustle of leaves, every distant call of a bird was a potential clue in the vast green labyrinth. Alex's movements were almost instinctual, a dance with the jungle that only a seasoned explorer could perform.
Jamie, look at that vine. It might be useful later. We could use it to climb or even as a makeshift rope if we need to cross a ravine. Always thinking ahead, Alex knew that every resource in the jungle could be a potential lifesaver.
Jamie, strong and dependable, possessed an unyielding determination. His strength was not just physical but also mental. He had a way of staying calm under pressure, a trait that was invaluable in the unpredictable jungle environment. He faced each obstacle head-on, his strength a source of reassurance for his friend. Whether it was a steep climb, a treacherous river crossing, or a dense thicket, Jamie's resolve never wavered. His presence was a constant reminder to Alex that they could overcome any challenge.
Don't worry, Alex. We'll get through this together. Jamie's voice was always steady, a calming influence in the midst of chaos. His words were not just a promise, but a testament to their unbreakable bond.
Together, they formed a formidable team, their individual strengths complementing each other perfectly. Alex's sharp mind and Jamie's unwavering strength created a synergy that was hard to beat. They had faced countless challenges together, each one strengthening their partnership. They knew that the jungle would test them, pushing them to their limits. But it was this very challenge that fueled their passion for exploration. Every step they took was a step into the unknown, a new adventure waiting to unfold. But they were ready, their friendship a bond stronger than any obstacle the jungle could throw their way. Their trust in each other was unshakable, built on years of shared experiences and mutual respect. No matter what lay ahead, they knew they could face it together as true jungle explorers. The jungle welcomed them into its emerald embrace. Giant ferns unfurled their fronds like welcoming arms. Vivid orchids, bursts of color against the green, adorned the forest floor. The air hung heavy and humid, thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. As they ventured deeper, the path became less clear. Thorny vines snaked across their way, and the dense foliage seemed to press in on all sides. Yet Alex and Jamie pressed on, their excitement growing with each step they took further into the wild unknown. And the sound reached them first, a low rumble that grew steadily louder, like a distant thunderstorm rolling in. It was a sound that spoke of power and untamed nature, a warning and a challenge all at once. Soon they stood on the banks of a rushing river. its waters a churning torrent of white, frothing and crashing against the rocks. The river seemed alive, a living entity with a will of its own, determined to bar their passage. The far bank, their destination, seemed tantalizingly close, yet the raging current made it feel impossibly far. Every step closer to the edge made the task seem more daunting, the roar of the water drowning out their thoughts. The river was a formidable obstacle, its power evident in the way it carved through the jungle, creating deep gorges and sweeping away anything in its path. It was a force of nature that demanded respect and caution. Discouragement threatened to dampen their spirits. The sheer force of the river seemed to mock their efforts, whispering that they were no match for its might. They felt small and insignificant in the face of such raw power. But Alex and Jamie were not ones to back down from a challenge. They had faced many obstacles before, and each one had only strengthened their resolve. They knew that giving up was not an option. They knew they had to find a way across, and their minds raced, searching for a solution. They considered their options, weighing the risks and rewards of each potential path. They knew that the key to success lay in their ability to think creatively and work together. After a moment of intense brainstorming, they decided to build a makeshift raft. They gathered materials from the surrounding jungle, using vines to lash together logs and branches. It was a risky plan, but it was their best shot. With their raft ready, they launched it into the river, the current immediately grabbing hold and pulling it downstream. They jumped aboard, paddling furiously to steer it towards the far bank. The journey across was harrowing, the river's power threatening to capsize them at every turn. But Alex and Jamie's determination and teamwork saw them through, and they finally reached the other side, exhausted but triumphant. They had conquered the river's roar, proving that with courage and ingenuity, even the most formidable obstacles could be overcome. Their spirits soared, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Section 5. A Bridge of Courage. Alex, ever observant, noticed a cluster of sturdy trees growing close together near the riverbank. An idea sparked in his mind.
Jamie, help me gather some vines. We can build a bridge.
Working quickly, they gathered strong vines from the surrounding jungle. Using their combined strength, they wove and knotted the vines together, securing them to the sturdy trees. Slowly, a makeshift bridge began to take shape, a testament to their ingenuity and teamwork. Section 6. The Green Wall. With the river successfully crossed, Alex and Jamie continued their journey. The jungle seemed to grow wilder, the vegetation even thicker than before. They encountered a new obstacle, a dense thicket of thorny bushes barring their path. The sharp thorns tore at their clothes and scratched their skin. The air hung heavy and still, the silence broken only by their frustrated sighs. The thicket seemed impenetrable, a green wall designed to keep out unwanted visitors. Section 7. Teamwork's Triumph.
We can't go over it.
Jamie said, frowning at the wall of thorns.
And we can't go around it.
Alex, ever resourceful, pulled out a sharp stone he had found earlier.
But we can go through it.
He said with a determined glint in his eye. Taking turns, they hacked and sawed at the tangled branches with the stone. They worked tirelessly, their movements synchronized, their shared goal fueling their efforts. Slowly but surely, they carved a narrow path through the heart of the thicket. Section 8. The Ascent. Their path led them to the base of a steep hill, its slopes covered in loose rocks and slippery mud. The summit, their next goal, seemed miles away. The climb would be treacherous, testing their endurance and resolve. The air grew thinner as they climbed. Sweat dripped from their brows and their legs burned with exertion. The loose rocks shifted under their weight, threatening to send them tumbling back down the slope, but they clung on, their determination unwavering.
Take your time. We'll get there together.
Jamie stumbled, his foot slipping on the loose shale. Alex, ever vigilant, reached out a hand and steadied him. They continued their ascent, their pace slow but steady. They helped each other over difficult stretches, offering words of encouragement and support. Finally, with a final burst of energy, they reached the summit, collapsing onto the flat ground, breathless but triumphant. Section 10. Treasure Found, Lessons Learned. The view from the summit was breathtaking. The jungle stretched out below them, a vast emerald ocean, and there, in a small clearing, lay a sight that made their hearts race, a weathered treasure chest, half hidden by vines. They had faced every challenge the jungle had thrown their way and emerged victorious. The real treasure, they realized, was not the gold and jewels, but the lessons they had learned along the way, the importance of perseverance, the power of teamwork, and the joy of facing challenges head-on. Section 11. Embrace the challenge. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the jungle, Alex and Jamie made their way back down the hill, their hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment. They had faced the unknown and discovered the strength within themselves. The jungle had tested them, but it had also rewarded them. It had taught them that the greatest adventures are often the ones that challenge us the most. And so they left the jungle forever changed by their experience, ready to embrace whatever challenges life threw their way.